Welcome to this case study analysis presentation. My name is Rebecca Slack, and I'm here to share findings after assessing a course from edX. The course that was analyzed was LDT 300X, Instructional Design, Digital Media, New Tools, and Technology. The tool that was used to assess the e-learning course was part of the OLC scorecard suite, specifically the Quality Course Teaching and Instructional Practice, or QCTIP. During this presentation, I will show how each category of the tool was scored. There's a separate slide per category to see the total points and the scored points for each area. For each indicator in each category, there are three options. A 0 means that it's emerging, a score of 1 means it's accomplished, and a score of 2 is exemplary. We will then move into the pros and cons of the course and then finish with some suggestions for improvement. The first category of the QCTIP is course design. Out of a total of 26 points, this area was scored 25 points, with only one area scored at a 1 instead of a 2. The indicator for that was course resources are clearly identified and easy to access. The next category is accessibility, ADA compliance, and universal design. There were a total of 4 points possible, and all 4 points were scored in this category. The next category is course learning outcomes. Here there were 18 points possible, and this category scored a total of 16 points. The areas that scored a 1 were instructor facilitates critical thinking and instructor recognizes and acknowledges excellence in student work. The remaining indicators all scored a 2. The following category was course content. Here there were a total of 18 possible points and 12 were scored. There were 2 areas that scored a 1 and 2 areas that scored a 0. The areas that scored a 1 were online activities and assignments are written with explicit instructions for how to participate when responses or submissions are expected and how the activities are assessed. Also, interactive group discussions are written with explicit instructions for how to participate when responses or submissions are expected and how the activities are assessed. The 2 areas that scored a 0 were instructor provides information for students regarding computer, hardware, and software requirements, as well as where to receive technical assistance. The other was instructor includes netiquette behavior guidelines to enhance inclusion. The remaining indicators scored a 2. Next was the assignments category. Total of 14 possible points and 12 were scored. All but 2 earned all points. The 2 areas that scored a 1 were assignments include grading rubrics with clear expectations, and a schedule of assignments is provided that includes due dates and time frames. The remaining indicators scored a 2. Next is the category of instructor role. There was a total of 20 points possible, and all 20 were scored. Next is class discussion and engagement. There were a total of 16 points possible, and only one area did not receive full points. Indicator number 6 was instructor posts critical reflective questions for discussion forums, and that scored a 0. Here we have building community, and there were 24 points possible here, and 22 points were scored. There were 2 areas that were scored a 1. One of them was indicator 6, instructor encourages students to be candid yet respectful of others, and the other was indicator 8, instructor provides activities and assignments that foster student interaction. Our next category was communication. There were a total of 24 points possible and 19 were scored here. This area had a few spots that scored a 0 and one that scored a 1. Indicator number 1 was instructor provides ongoing and meaningful communication. This area was scored a 1. Indicator number 6 was instructor specifies times when students can expect instructor feedback. This was not noted at all, so this scored a 0. And indicator number 15 was instructor requires college level writing and communication in all written work and course participation, including email and class discussions. This was not noted in any of the instructor feedback or in any of the instructions, so this was scored a 0 as well. This is the last category, continuous course improvement. Out of a total of 6 points, there were 3 points scored here. Indicator number 3, student feedback for course improvement is encouraged and requested. This scored a 1. Indicator 4 was an anonymous course survey is available to encourage student feedback. This scored a 1. And indicator number 5 was instructor provides opportunities for reflection at the end of the course for course improvement, and this scored a 1 as well. The course scored well overall. The findings were that the course scored 147 points out of a total of 170 possible points. This is equivalent to an 86.47%. Now we're going to look at the pros and cons of the course. The pros were the course is easy to navigate. Everything is in chronological order. The course aligns well with all of the learning objectives. Students will practice a variety of skills for the assignments. And then the cons are resources are not easily accessible. If a student wants to refer back to something, they have to flip through all of the weeks and all of the topics to locate it again. There are no rubrics present for any of the assignments, and the assignments do not encourage student interaction. Well, now we are at the suggestion box. So my suggestions for this course include 3 different items. To begin with, adding a resource tab to easily locate any and all resources within the course would be very helpful for each of the students. Though they are housed within the topic or week that they are needed, it is still nice for the students to be able to go back to it and refer to it when they remember that there was something that was really relevant or important in the past. Clicking back through each of the weeks and viewing each of the topics to find a specific resource that they recall can be very time consuming and frustrating for the student. Next, add rubrics for each assignment. This way, the students can see the breakdown of points and see what the expectations are. This can help them prepare their assignment before submitting. And last, including at least one group assignment to foster collaboration and the sharing of ideas between the students. This can always be something that is challenging, as not all group mates will come forth with the same effort. However, this does allow students to access a different skill set when working with others. They can find their strengths and their weaknesses, push themselves, encourage each other, and work together for an end goal. And last, I want to thank you for watching and listening to this presentation. I hope that some of the information here can help improve this course for the future.